Hey guys, this is Matthew Moses here, and today we're going to be talking about different professional hockey leagues in North America. So now, all the professional hockey leagues in North America all link in together. Like, obviously, the top league is the National Hockey League, the NHL. After that, you got the American Hockey League, the AHL. After that league is the ECHL, the East Coast Hockey League. That's considered double A hockey. So like in baseball, you got the major leagues, NHL, triple A, AHL, and then double A, ECHL. And then you got these three independent hockey leagues that I like to call the free agent leagues. And that is the SPHL, that is the South Professional Hockey League. And then after that, you got the FPHL, the Federal Professional Hockey League. And then you got LNAH, Ligue North American, aka the Butcher League, because that league is known for the fights and not the skill. But they do try and develop players to make it to where they want to go. Like, for example, 2 years ago, the 12th Lions were using players from the LNAH as spares to call up because of the COVID pandemic. But this is like my view. I prefer watching the NHL and AHL. And sometimes I go to LNAH games in Laval. Like me, I'm a Rocket fan, Laval Rock fan. You see from the back of my camera over there. But the AHL and the ECHL like to promote fights also because they want to draw fans. And they try to get local players to come play for their team to attract the fans. Like, for example, the Laval Rocket, they try to get a lot of Quebec players, but I am not going to say anything about that. But they like to get Quebec players so they could get their families to come to games and their friends so they could pack their rink with 10,000 people every night at Place Bell. The ECHL, that league, you still have a shot. If you play in that league, you still have like a small percentage of making the NHL. You have guys like Hillies. He played with Trois-Rivières, and played with the Rocket, and played one game in the NHL with the Montreal Canadiens. You got tons of ECHLers that played in the NHL, but you got to go through the AHL before you get to the NHL if you're in the ECHL. Now, the SPHL, that league I think is higher than the FPHL, but I'm going to be honest, the SPHL, those players are also trying to get contracts from minor league teams or NHL teams so they could continue their career. And also, one thing with the FPHL is their rinks are a bit smaller. Like you got, for example, Watertown, but that's a great hockey town for that league. You got Columbus, you got Mississippi, and you got Binghamton that's really good in attendance in the FPHL. And that league also tries to promote a lot of fights. But the league that promotes the most fights out of those leagues is the LNAH. Because the Quebec fans, they love emotion games. They love physical games. You go to Petrier games, they yell stuff I cannot say on this video. And I will not say them. But they are so passionate there. And they love their physical players. And they love the enforcers, the goons, the fighters. Trust me, I love watching hockey fights as a hockey fan. I go to some games expecting to see 2 or 3 fights a game. And you got like guys, they're just there to watch the fights and not hockey, but they want to play hockey also. And you got some guys that played NHL, AHL in that league, guys who went to Europe. And like in the ECHL also, you got 3 lines, I think. I don't know if they have that rule still, the 3-line rule. They have that bit in the LNAH and other leagues too. But the LNH also has a rule where they will most likely only accept Quebec players or players that played in the Q or CHL or some alumni. It's like, I actually know some guys that played in the LNH, and I'm really good friends with them. And the fun thing is, like, in the LNH for road games, the teams don't take a bus. They go by their car. They hop along with a group of players, and they go together to the visiting games. In the other leagues, they do take a bus. Sometimes a plane. Like when I travel with the Laval Rocket, the team took a plane sometimes, they took it to Milwaukee, Rockford, they took it to Winnipeg, Charlotte, Vancouver, Abbotsford, we'll say. And most likely they'll take the bus and I won't even explain, go detail, but they leave the day before the game. So they have an extra day to rest there. Also, you got some leagues that are in the LNH, like in Canada, you got some senior hockey leagues, like Senior AAA. That league is more about the fights than the hockey. For example, my grandfather used to call the LNH the Butcher League, and he still does because of the fights. But I find the game is really being cleaned up right now, and they're trying to eliminate the fighting a lot, even though we like to see like 1 or 2 good fights every game. I do go to some Montreal Canadiens games, some NHL games. I love watching NHL. Like I especially love collecting jerseys, hockey jerseys, like game worn or game issued jerseys. Like the funny thing is, every game I go to, I always try to get a game worn or game issued jersey from the team I'm visiting that I'm going to be watching. For example, when I go to Belleville, see Laval play there, I try and get a game worn jersey there. I go to Rochester, I try to get a game-worn jersey there. Cleveland. Well, Cleveland's a bit impossible, but I do go to games there. Hartford and Providence, all these places I go see Laval players. Like maybe like 16 arenas in the AHL I saw Laval play before. And my favorite arena in the whole American Hockey League is a tie. It has to be Cleveland and Winnipeg. And also, I give exception to Rochester, New York, because I love that city. Great city. It's a fun hockey town, Rochester. I even have a friend who played university hockey there, and he lives in South Africa. He's captain of the South African national hockey team. I'll be honest, all these leagues are like baby steps to get to your goal. That's the NHL. But the NHL has a small percent of making it, because you got certain players you're allowed on the team. But anyways, if you want my opinion on which league to watch, I know this would sound a bit funny, but I would say the AHL, the American Hockey League. But this is my personal opinion. I don't know about your personal opinion. Like, if you guys have any comments to say, feel free to comment on my video and give me your opinions. I would love to hear your opinions. And also, if you want to subscribe to me. Like my video. I'm posted on TikTok, YouTube. And also, I'm going to be coming out with a podcast channel really soon. I'm trying to get this podcast going where I'm going to talk to famous hockey players, sports athletes. It's not just going to be about hockey. It's going to be about sports. And hopefully, it'll get my name out there in the sports world. Because I would love to interact with a lot of athletes and hear all their stories. And like their background and like how they started playing this sport and what motivated them to get into the sport. But anyways, I have to go now. I hope you all have a great night, and there's gonna be more videos coming along the way. This is just the beginning, and just subscribe to my channel, Sports with Matty Mo, and I hope you all have a great night. And if I see you guys at any hockey games or sporting events, feel free to stop me and say hi. I'm a really nice guy, and I love to talk. Anyways, all of you, have a good night. Bye.